Caller, you're live on radio. I can actually hear sounds in the background. Okay, if you're not going to speak, well, you just hang on for the ride then. And when you get the courage, you can open up and start saying something. This program is actually heard globally. I found this out doing some research in Canada, Colombia, Sweden, I dare say Russia, India, Brazil, United Kingdom, and the Netherlands. So, perhaps they maybe can't say anything, but they can still hear the praise. Yeah, that's important. That's important. And so, did you have you done any records or have sung with some famous people? You want to name drop?
I have Billie Holiday is one of the idols that I like, and I love her sound and her music, and so that was one of the ones that I liked to, in that era and that time where the music was so negative in a sense back then that I love the flavor and the sound of it, so I wanted to, like you said, cultivate it and put God in the midst of it, and that's where that came from. But Babbie Mason, I'm not for sure if you know Babbie Mason. She's nationally known. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and my husband's sitting here. He's looking at me, and he's just He'll talk about me later, and he'll tell me that Dottie People, Andre Crouch, Terry Cummins.
Okay.
So it's a lot of artists that I've been around and watched during the years, and Daryl Coley was one of my favorites. Just to be around and on programs with them has been just something phenomenal in my life. So something that I could always cherish.
So you're well traveled. Let me ask you this question. I love the music there. You said it was your band. So what's the name of your band?
It's funny you would say that because that particular song, at the time, I did not have a band. It was done in the studio. And Eric Fleming and Tim Gilchrist, they actually produced and they worked on the song, and Eric Fleming, he did all the music on that particular CD. And so when I would go out singing, by me being a jazz artist, I was on the stage by myself. I didn't have like the background girls or somebody to sing with me. So I would be up there. So I said, well, I want to add this to my track so that I can let them know that was my band. My band could play like that. But when I do go out when I go out for engagements, I generally get someone to play like that. So I can always give them the credit for it.
Well, you let Dr. Eric Fleming know that I am jealous of his gift because playing those keyboards that was just fantastic. And let me just give him a clap out.
Oh, wow.
I tell you.
I would definitely let him know. And I promise I did not say anything about my new CD coming out, 316, God So Loved the World. And I'm going to let you know something. God has created in my husband the ability to even give me some sounds. He can't do the whole full Eric Fleming, but he gave me all of my songs, the music for my new CD that's coming out, and I can't wait to get it out there. So.
Well, he could actually be your DJ. Yeah. Using iPad and MP3.
Yeah, he can actually play. He can play the keyboard a little bit too. He'll sit down and I'll start humming something. Yeah. So I'll hum.
He can't step in my area. That's what I do. So he can't step in my area. That's what I do. He cannot step in my area. That's what I do.
Well, see, the thing is, we might have to talk to you because he can play to an extent, but he can't just get in there and just say he's gonna play some Shekinah Glory or something like that. But he can get in there and play some music, and then from there, I just find the lyrics to go along with it. So we make a song from that.
We have to collaborate because if he gives me an app for my show, and I'll give him some chords. It'll work.
Definitely. When you hear it, you're gonna be like, wow, and he can't play. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. He's one of those geniuses. I see. It's no problem. It's no problem.
Well, I think it's the fact of him just being, you know, how God just pour into us when we have a desire. God is going to pour down whatever our needs is. He said we already got it. So yeah.
Okay. Well, my wife actually raps. She's got like one rap.
What?
You can't live in New York without having some rap mode in you and shopping.
What?
I think she raps.
Okay. Well, I would love to hear that. Wow.
Well, one day soon, coming to a record label near you. And so, getting back to this before y'all get me off track here. The corner, and coming out of the corner is very important. Let me give you a backdrop on this before we go to another song. The reason Paul was actually a prisoner, and he was actually dealing with King Agrippa, basically gave him an audience to speak because he was being charged with criminal activity. Good God Almighty. And so he said to King Agrippa, you know of the Jewish customs, and you had heard of Jesus, for the father, King Herod Agrippa had actually beheaded disciple James, and with a sword, and had actually put Peter into prison. And so he had encountered the disciples and the mighty folks of God. King Agrippa knew of the mercies of God, but because of his temper and because he refused to change his heart, he had something called a fatal hesitation, where he said, "You almost convinced me to be a Christian." And so it's important that folks come out the corner, a place of intersection between two streets, where they are not actually getting the whole view of salvation. They're getting pieces of it. And because they don't want to relinquish their flesh and their demonic issues, they don't want to move beyond the corner. And it's important to do that for God to have access to you. And so, matter of fact, if folks would come off the corner, the drug corner, we could get something done with all the youth who are smart enough to run an enterprise, but in the wrong product. And that's important. So speaking of good product, matter of fact, before we go to this next song called Trouble, which is what I was talking about, have you been through some things there, Sister Charlene?
I think we all go through some challenges. It's just depending on the level of where you're ready to change and see the challenge and basically, walk away from it. You have a choice to stay in the middle of the battle or to try to get on another side where it's clear. And sometimes a lot of people, they like to sit in the midst of their problems and their troubles and dwell in it and stay in the corner of life and never trying to come from out of that corner and make the changes that God has already placed in us and told us to go forward to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to ask you a true or false question. Perhaps your husband, the king, may know this also and can advise you. Cheating is allowed today. Does the corner have a point to it, street corner, or is it round?
Well, it can be. It could be round in a sense of, you're going to always have a lot of people in it, and it can be surrounding in every nationality and every walk of persons, every walk of the things that people are trying to do. It's a matter of what they're, if they want to stay held down, it's the way they're perceiving life and perceiving the Word of God and the way that they're taking it and being fed. You can get the Word of God and live by it and take it for every word that it is, or they can choose to stay, like I said, in the corner or it can be round. It can be multiple. If you're saying multiple, I guess people, denominations, walks of challenges that's going on. It can be in every, I guess, everything that's seen. That people can challenges that they go through. It's just a matter of if that person wants to come out, if that person wants to change, or do you want to just dwell in a space and make that space your life and pull other people into it and make it their place to be.
All right, I hadn't thought about all that. I was actually asking a simplistic question of engineering, but you gave me all the deep theological stuff. So I would assume you're the preacher at the house. So if I could get your husband on the phone, I could ask him directly. But he's hesitant today. But in basic engineering, the corner is round. And do you know why?
Do you know why?
Yeah.
He said, do he know why in reference to engineering? Are you saying musically?
Nope. Just engineering. Architecturally design. Why is the corner round? Should make it a trivia question.
I know, right?
If anyone knows that answer, why the corner is made round, call in, leave my wife alone at 1-914-205-5353. She trying to get cheating, trying to get help from these ladies. Always playing together. I'm telling you, I don't understand it. I can't understand it. I have another question. Why do women, even don't know each other, glue together?
Yeah, like glue. That's a bond.
Oh, so you're doing the Camilla Harris thing. I got you. So since we got the female vice president, all pearls and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, to Michelle.
Dear Lord, help me.
We're all attached.
So since no one has called in with the answer, and my guest, all the way from Alabama, can't figure it out, I was putting my money on IT, your husband, to give me the answer and show the power of men. Okay, and the whole room went quiet. So I'll just go ahead and say what it is. I get no backup. The reason why the corners are round so that you can actually see around them, and it's good for making turns.
Oh my goodness, Queen! I know you can help us. Wait a minute.
I got it. I got issues. She lives with us for 15 years, as you know.
Yeah, because he got me. I'm looking. I'm like, I don't know. Why is the corner? What corner? Which corner are we at? Where is it? The corner on the ground? I know it's kind of curvy, but I don't know.
I'm gonna have to call Donna Walton, Apostle Donna Walton, who sent you over here, and tell her what the problems are. I can hear her say now, "Hey, bro." Apostle, listen, you gave me Charlena Nutall, and she was over there tearing up my program. Causing problems. Tried to get the queen to side against me. This is not proper. Can we have regulations here? You can't act like this. You causing trouble, and so that leads me to you actually living the song that you sang. Okay, so let me go to trouble.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Here we go. Be careful.